JGR Esports League's Pro MXGP League. We got the 450 motos going first tonight. We got the whole lobby readied up, so we're going to get this thing rolling. Track for tonight is JGR New Orleans, made by New. Super fun track, but it definitely breaks down quite a bit. We've been finding out running time attack, so a little bit of track deformation and spots that makes it a little bit challenging. Without Jeez. Come on. There we go. There's New Orleans. Vivid says, let's go Mac and Xerox. Sorry, Salt. It's going to definitely be an interesting night of racing for the championship here. Young Mac already wrapped up the 250 title, so he's racing in the 450 class here tonight. Got to give these guys just a second to check their settings. And we are gonna get going so we don't have any issues getting into the race here. Hopefully everyone is paying attention. Let's hope for a smooth night of racing. Got some heavy hitters tonight. We got our usual Saltman, Xerox, Samuel YZB. We also got Iowa Hawkeyes coming out tonight. Pops his head in for a couple appearances each season. We also got, like I said, Young Matt coming up from the 250 class, so a lot of good competition tonight. Some championship implications. If Xerox were to go 5-5 and Saltman were to go 1-1, Saltman would actually take the championship. So there's definitely a chance there could be some spoilers here. We'll see what happens. Saltman did miss the last round, so he is out as well. Down just a couple points. He had built himself up a pretty decent lead, but it just goes to show you when you miss races, it's easy to fall in the standings pretty quickly against a group of competitive guys. Alright, and we are in with no issues, thank God. So again, lineup for tonight, I'm Xerox, Saltman, Iowa Hawkeyes, Antonio Arenga, David Mulatto, Dilute Tiger, Young Macadelic, Velt, Duncan, Nick, Samuel YZB, Brennan, Jose Otero. So a couple of these new Spain guys coming out to race. Shout out to them. It's 2:30 in the morning where they are. We'll see how they'll do. But the revs are up here at New Orleans, and the gates are down. On board with Saltman getting a good jump. Knows he needs to get out front and control his own destiny tonight and go 1-1. So looking good. But Xerox right there in the second place position into this tight turn. Who do we got? Jose Otero sliding up the inside of Xerox. They're trying to make a pass early. He's worked his way into second. Xerox in third now. Dilute Tiger in a good position early, has a lot of passing in these lead four. Oh, and Salt runs Xerox high. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Those guys are racing for the title. Someone did go down, so it looks like Velt third, Iowa fourth, and Antonio Arenga in fourth now, working his way around Velt. Iowa Hawkeyes trying to get in the mix here, sitting P5 currently. Where's the rest of the boys at? A bunch of guys grouped up here. Xerox in 6, making a couple passes through the rollers, and Dilute goes down. David Mulatto moving into 6 now, getting into his teammate there. Samuel YZB is going to sneak around now, so these guys are wide open. A lot of passing happening early in this moto. Dilute back in 10th, so one crash from 3rd to 10th, but he's got a pack of guys right in front of him here. Needs to take advantage of making some passes before the pack spreads out just a little too much. Antonio Arenga back in 10th now, gets reset. Brennan Burrows in 12th. Back up front, Jose Otero, so the newcomer out front, ripping, getting this thing done, hitting his insides. So he looks good early, but will he withstand the pressure from our veterans in this class? We will just have to find out. But right now, it's Iowa Hawkeyes in second, chasing down Jose Otero. Xerox is in third, and Saltman making a good dash for that pass there. Unfortunately, kind of overshoots just a little bit. It's going to allow a couple more people to go by, but him and Xerox bar to bar here. Oh, and what happened to Xerox? Xerox goes down. There's all sorts of carnage going on right now, so I know Xerox is going to be happy with that. He needs to get up there. He cannot give Saltman a chance to sneak his way back up into this championship. So see what his damage control is like later in this one. I mean, this pack is so bunched up right now, so that's allowing Jose Otero to kind of run away just a little bit, but Iowa's also distanced himself from the back of the pack, so let's see what he can do. He can make a pass here, but you got Saltman, an absolute dog, riding this thing till the wheels fall off, but made a couple passes after making a mistake on that first lap, after having the whole shot, and he's been up and down the leaderboard here early, so definitely has plenty of time to collect himself and make some moves. Velt back and forth, David Mulatto 5th, Sammy YZB 6th, Xerix in 7th, so Xerix needs to be inside that top 5. It is going to be tough here tonight. Duncan, Nick back in 8th, Dilute 9th, Young Macadelic 10th. So I did not see Young Macadelic in the mix early on lap 1. So many guys passing each other. When I'm skipping on the next player, I probably skipped over him a time or two on accident. But he's in 10th, Brennan Bros in 11th, and Antonio Ornega back in 12th. Up front, it's still what appears to be Spain's finest, Jose Otero, getting it done. He's honestly riding very well. I mean, Iowa is giving him a lot of pressure right now, and Iowa is one of those guys that just always fast, obviously. So, veteran of the game, if you will. He's not been able to make easy work of Jose Otero out front, but Saltman is knocking on the door. He's trying to make a pass happen, and quick. These guys playing the edges very well. Back and forth, David Mulatto now making a couple passes, working his way up through the middle of the pack here. So good ride for him, 4th as he goes down, loops out. Xerix got taken out again, same guy. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on it, but luckily he has worked his way up into 5th behind Sam here. Good news for Xerix and Sammy YZB. That lead group is not too far ahead here. Ooh, David Mulatto needs to be careful here. So this is the biggest test we've seen Xerix face all season. Needs to settle in and have some patience. He's got to rely on a couple of these guys potentially making mistakes, but he's got 5 fast guys in front of him. I definitely think he has the speed to get around David Mulatto here. I think David just got a good drive and kind of caught him off guard, but Xerix, again, veteran line choices. You see him being patient. He's not trying to jump to anything too quickly. He knows it could cost him even more time if he gets into it with 5th here. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to boot him. Totally understand the move there. Young Macadelic in tow now, so Young Macadelic making a couple passes. You know, he's got the speed to be up there with these boys, so let's see if he can also make easy work of David Mulatto and get his way up on the back of Xerix and Samuel YZB. Brennan Bros 8th now, Velt 9th, Duncan 10th, Antonio 11th, and Dilute Tiger struggling a little bit back in 12th. No, Dilute's better than that. See if he can work his way up through the pack a little bit. Back up front, and it is Saltman. Unfortunately, I missed the pass for the lead, so he's already opened it up on Iowa. I'm assuming Jose Otero made a mistake or just straight up got past there. Those boys were moving in 2nd and 3rd, but still a good ride for the rookie out here in 3rd place. Against the best in the game, should feel happy about this ride if he can hang on, but you know Sammy YZB and Xerix are going to be coming. No doubt about that. Xerix absolutely has to get it done here, or they at least need to reel in 3rd place and Jose Otero. We will have to keep an eye on that. David Mulatto still holding the pace. And I just gotta say, this pack all the way through is pretty tight. A lot of good racing here early in Moto 1 at New Orleans. Saltman still out front controlling this thing. If anything, he's opening up the gap more and more by the second. Good ride for Iowa. Sitting P2 currently. Good little downhill double here. Not a lot of guys were losing traction through these rollers earlier practicing. We're going to start to see this track really break down a lot. We did do a 10-minute qualifying session. You were starting to see that some of the lines were getting chewed out, jump faces bad, some of the spots landing. kind of just bottoming out, almost even a little easier. So that's definitely going to come into play late in this moto. You're going to see a lot less flair coming from each rider, and a little bit more just trying to stay calm, pick good lines, and not get too risky with it, because in a corner like this one, for instance, you can really slide out easily if you're not careful, and that's a bad spot to go down. So Jose Otero still back in third, holding strong, really not losing sight of Iowa, so anything is possible with 7 minutes 30 seconds plus 2 left in this one. But Xerix makes a pass into fourth. Samuel might have made a mistake because he's quite a ways back now, so Xerix has his sights set now, needs to get up there, but he is in the position he needs to be. He's better than fifth, so needs to at least be fourth in this moto to get the title and bring it home. Samuel still a good ride in fifth. Again, these lead 5 are on such a great pace right now. And oh, Xerix, not sure if he went down or got reset. I just saw him kind of coming back in there, but that's going to allow Samuel to sneak back up now. I know Samuel knows kind of the title implications. I'm not quite sure that he's going to want to get in the way. Not to say he won't make a clean pass if it's available, obviously, if Xerix goes down, but I don't really see him getting in the way of the championship here. We'll see what happens, but young Mac honestly is riding very well back here in 6th. He's really not far off these guys. If they make another mistake or two, he's going to be getting by them. So that 4th, 5th, and 6th battle just as good as the lead 3. Back to 7th, David Mulatto. Ooh, shoots that inside just a little bit. Antonio charging from the back now, gets off on the toppy stuff, but he's trying to hold on, go as fast as he can, try to make a pass on his teammate here. The 3 Spaniards sitting 3rd, 7th, and 8th right now. Good debut ride for them. Brennan Bros back in 9th, so he was dead last early in this one, so hey, progress is progress. He's making a couple passes. He's got 7th and 8th right in front of him here. Let's see if he can do anything with that. Velt back in 10th, so Velt honestly sitting in a pretty good standing in points. I want to say he's still 5th or 6th, so not the ride he wants back here in 10th, but again, just goes to show you how good that field is tonight here, JGR Pro MXGP League. A lot of fast boys out here racing tonight. Duncan falling back to 11th now, so not really having that 15-minute endurance, it seems. He's kind of just falling down spot by spot as the race has gone on here, but looking better than he did in his debut ride a couple rounds back, so it's all about getting better, and all these guys are putting the time in. So Dilute back in 12th, I know he'll be bummed with that, but always got a Moto 2 to make up for it. Back out front, Saltman still holding it down as he comes across the start straight here, tripling into that roller set and almost kind of just jumping into that double face, keeping the bike low. Be curious to see what these guys are running lap time wise at the end of this one. I want to say the best qualifying time was 128, 129, something like that. So definitely a lot quicker than the 250s, but this track actually has less of a time gap between the engine size tonight, so I think 450 and 250 times are closer than they can be. This track's a little technical in spots, so you really kind of got to slow the pace down a bit just to ensure you're not sliding out, going down, getting reset. So a lot of careful thinking into line choice here, but Saltman making it look easy out here in Moto 1, doing everything he can for his title hopes. Best that you can do is just go out and do what you need to do, and whatever happens, happens. So we'll check on the rest of the field. Iowa Hawkeyes still in 2nd, so definitely shaking things up. Jose Otero still 3rd, Xerix 4th, but he is closing the gap. So this will be a huge pass for Xerix if he can make it, but he's got 3 minutes 30 seconds to do it. Needs to start acting now. Jose Otero's been riding really well, so he's not going to get any gifts here. He's got about 5-6 seconds back. Needs to really start charging forward and make a move. Sammy YZB definitely falling off the pace just a little bit, but again, still a great ride for him in 5th. Young Mac at 6th. David Mulatto 7th, Antonio 8th. Belt back in 9th, Brennan Bros 10th, Duncan 11th, looking to make a move on Brennan Bros, and Dilute in 12th. So stretching that thing out, having a little trouble getting that downhill double. It is a big one. Saltman has a commanding lead, but I mean, all things considered, Iowa's really hanging in there well for as little time as he spends. Race pace, throwing some wheelie scrub in there. Really key in that double section to try to do that if you're trying to shave time around the track. But these lead guys, again, the things that they're able to do on these bikes, a lot of time, effort, practice, patience. Oh, and Iowa gets reset. That's very unfortunate. It looks like a lot of these guys are opting to kind of land on that right side of the downhill, the down ramp that is, for that downhill double. And it looks like he just went a little too far, but almost. So Xerox still not able to close the gap, and he is running out of time. Jose Otero with a really good so far. Young Macadelic makes the pass into 5th, so a good debut ride on the 450 for Young Mac. Samuel YZB in 6th. And we got the teammates battling back here. Just a good little battle in the back of the pack. 7th and 8th. These guys have been glued at the hip for the past couple laps here. Just going back and forth. David Mulatto cuts underneath. Gonna get the pass done. All these 450s looking like they're trying to triple in that section. Mulatto on the brakes a little early. These guys are just neck and neck. We'll have to check back with them in a minute. But Velt trying to see if he can get up to that yin and yang battle in front of him. Would be good for him to pick off 2 more spots here. Would definitely be a salvageable moto in 7th if he's able to do that. Velt's shown great speed all year so far, so see what he can do. Brennan Bros 10th, Duncan still 11th, and Dilute in 12th. Swerd says, I spy with my little eye an Iowa Hawkeye. Yes, sir. What's up, Swerd? Welcome to the stream. So sick. Iowa is able to really hop on any game, any dirt bike game, and it's like he just hasn't skipped a beat. I mean, all of us JGR boys, we're grinding this game, and this dude plays MX bikes, Supercross, MXGP, just hops on when he feels like it, running second, making it happen. Super impressive ride for him. As always, Jose Otero in 3rd. Really, he's a freak of nature, Sword, I tell you. It's taken me years of playing MXGP to be even where I'm at, and Iowa's still gapping me easy. Young Mac in 5th. He's charging late in this one, I tell you. Young Mac has been on one all year. He dominated the 250 class, was the most consistent rider week in and week out. Each title contender had their weeks where they were up there on the box or getting moto wins, but no matter what, Young Mac was always up in that lead group. Worst moto finish to date was 7th. So I remember in the 250 class, me and him would battle in one race for 6th, like the entire race. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how consistent he's been. Worst moto finish is 7th. So he's had a great year on the 250, coming out and showing us why he's the 250 champ on this 450. That KTM is an absolute rocket of a 450. Love to see it. Sammy YZB now. Looks like he's putting on down a couple heaters late in this one. Really, they've caught up to Xerox. If anything, I think Young Mac is driving the pace of this group right now, so we'll check back with them in a minute. Antonio still holding on to 7th. Surprised he did not bottom out there, but David Mulatto still charging. These guys, they must be running identical lap times. David Mulatto cuts underneath. He's going to bump just a little bit and make the pass, so nice clean pass there. Uses a little bit of force, but very reasonable. That was a great pass. Back and try this inside, not quite close enough. Vel also making up a lot of time with 2 to go. Salt Man, haven't been talking about this guy enough here. He is absolutely ripping. Coming up on some lap traffic here, which looks like Duncan and Dilute Tiger. Unfortunately, like I've said this before on stream, really no way to warn these guys other than verbally if they're listening, but if in the off chance those guys are listening to the stream, just go ahead and move out of the way for Salt. He'll be coming by soon, but we really haven't had any lap traffic issues this season. Nothing that's really cost anyone a race or a position even. So Salt being how he is, I have no doubt that he'll make clean work of these guys and keep on going. So it's going to be one lap to go. Saltman gets the white flag. Iowa in second. He really has just kept that same gap. As soon as Salt got the lead, he pulled out in that first lap or two. Just has not lost pace with Salt. So it'd be interesting to see if he can get it done in Moto2 and grab an overall here at the finale. Jose Otero still third, but Xerox is right here. This is the battle to watch. Let's Xerox get this pass made. Young Mac back in fifth. So Young Mac could really mix it up here for the championship if he's able to get Xerox for fourth. But we will see. These guys have one lap to go if they're able to finish it. Saltman and Iowa Hawkeyes, insane pace here, pulling away from the rest of the field in Moto 1. Sam, a little bit off the pace now, back in sixth, but still a good ride. He's ridden really well. Just a couple too many mistakes, I think, early in this one cost him. David Mulatto still 7th, Antonio 8th, Velt in 9th, still working to get some passes made. Brennan Bros 10th, Dilute 11th, and Duncan back in 12th still. Out front, Saltman coming up on the back of the pack. Just a couple more turns to go here, coming across the start straight into this double-double section, or triple-single as these 450 guys are hitting it. And Saltman is going to make one last turn here. He is going to do what he absolutely needs to do and get this Moto 1 win. Saltman takes it home here at New Orleans. Iowa Hawkeyes P2. Jose Otero in third. Xerox fourth. And Young Mac back in fifth. Young Mac doing everything he can to make it happen. Don't think he's going to be close enough to even make a last-ditch effort here. Jose Otero is going to come home with third in this one. And Xerox just needs to get across the line. He's right where he needs to be. Xerox is going to be in fourth. Young Macadelic, great ride in fifth. Sammy YZB sixth. David Mulatto and Antonio, the teammates, 7th and 8th. Velt in 9th. Brennan Bros 10th. Dilute 11th. And Duncan 12th. A great first moto here at JGR New Orleans. We'll give these guys just a minute or two in the lobby. Take a breather. There's a lot of race in there. And then we'll get back to it in just a moment. Alright, and we are back. Gonna try to get 450 Moto 2 underway now. Give these guys just a second if they needed it, but we're gonna get through the voting screens here. Again, if you're just joining us on stream, this is gonna be Moto 2, the 450 class, at the finale here at round 8. Track for tonight, JGR New Orleans by New. Track really broke down late in that first moto. These guys were kind of just like on eggshells out there, skating around, the back tire all over the place. But the racing was really good. Honestly, I felt like the stream was super exciting just because of how many battles were going on. So that moto really tightened up that points gap just a little bit. If it's another moto like that, I want to say if Xerix gets 6th, it might be Saltman's championship. I'm going to have to look at that one, but it is definitely going to come down to the wire here. Alright, give these guys just a second to grab their settings if they need to. And we are ready. Hopefully no issues going into this 450 Moto 2 again. Brennan Bros said boys are flowing. Absolutely, you guys are all ripping in that moto. Insane, the pace across the board. Not a slow guy in that lobby. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We do appreciate it. It's been a fun season, but we will probably be, after maybe some MX of Nations, JGR will probably be taking a break for a little bit. The admin's got some real life stuff coming up, and we've had a lot of seasons back to back, and it's been awesome. But we'll definitely be back either in a while in this game, if they don't make new games, or we'll just have series on the next gen Supercross and MXGP games when they're released. But we appreciate you guys coming out with us every week. It's been an absolute pleasure to call the races. Excited to go out with one more 450 Moto here, and then onto the 250s one last time this season. Lineup again tonight here: Brennan Bros, Sammy YZB, David Mulatto, I'm Xerix, Duncan, Nick, Young Macadelic, Iowa Hawkeyes, Saltman, Loot Tiger, Antonio Arenga, Jose Otero, and Velt. Revs are up and gates are down. Who are we going to be on board with? Brennan Bros sleeping a little bit on the gate. Iowa Hawkeyes, the classic Iowa move, change the gear set, change the whole kit, shit, switch bikes if you will. Comes out swinging a Moto 2, tries to cut to that inside line, gets landed on, and the whole field goes around him. Who is out front now? Saltman with a good start early in Moto 2. Velt in second. Oh, he's popcorning. Oh, this is so hard to watch right now. I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to get an accurate idea of where our points contenders are, but I think I see Xerix sitting up there around 5th or 6th, maybe 4th. But it is an absolute cluster. These guys have got to get through this section. He really did get clean. That was crazy. He really didn't deserve that disrespect. Oh, Dilute wipes out. It's absolute garbage. Oh my gosh. Let's go back up front. Saltman trying to get away from the madness early. Tight little inside line to that downhill double. Hits it cleanly. Velt back in second right behind him. Iowa Hawkeyes charging after what could be the death of the season right there. He just had. That was brutal. Oh, and Jose Otero around the outside. Okay. Oh my god. These guys are bar to bar right now. Jose Otero wants that overall podium bad. Gets a couple wheel scrubs to him. He, for the love of God, he's going to try to get this inside. Overcorrects and gets reset. So Xerix is going to move into 4th now. He needs to make a couple passes and secure this championship for himself. This is going to be close down the wire. He's got Young Mac hot on his trail. Jose Otero 3rd in Moto 1, trying to make it happen. He's going to come over and take Young Mac's line. Young Mac jumps over the top of him. These guys are all over the track trying to find ways to make passes. This word's cracking me up on the stream right now. Oh man. Oh, alright, what is going on? I just saw a whole bunch of tomfoolery. And Iowa, oh, did Iowa lag out? That might be the most fortunate thing to happen to Xerox all season. Oh no. That sucks. The funny thing is, I don't really ever see Iowa lag out like that. Damn, Iowa, that sucks, man. You were riding super well. Had a chance at that overall. You know what? I'm sick of Milestone. I just gotta say it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of dealing with the bullshit. I'm absolutely tired of it. I'm not gonna be PG for the stream. Fuck that shit. Alright? I'm just saying. You can't even run. All these people want to lobby with 16 riders. We can't even have them with 12 without lagging out. Someone explain that to me. My man's playing on a hot spot. Oh, good stuff. And oh, Xerox makes a move around Saltman. Not quite sure what happened to Salt. He was out front with no issues, but my man Velt holding it down to 619. He knows that the boys are coming. He's got to get moving. And Young Macadelic, did Young Mac lag out? So what is going on with the game right now? Either he lagged out or rage quit, but I doubt he would rage quit because he was sitting in a pretty good position last I checked. So it's going to allow a couple of these guys to get a better overall with a few lag outs. Only 10 in the race now. Velt trying to get himself a moto win late in the season. A last-ditch effort, if you will, but Saltman not going to make it easy. Xerox back in third. These guys might get a little dicey late in this moto. I agree, Sword. I think that I just haven't seen a Milestone game lately that has no server issues, in my opinion. Pretty ridiculous. Samuel YZB battling with Jose Otero. Now, I want to say Jose Otero, if I'm not mistaken, I saw him back on, like, MXGP 19. Like, so I'm pretty sure this guy's been around. He's definitely riding like he's been around. Making a nice pass on Samuel there. Samuel tries to hold off the inside line, but kind of overshoots that finish line. Double. Almost lands on top of Jose, but just needs to settle in, pick his lines, and see what he can do here. Make some moves. He's got 1 through 4 right in front of him in eyesight. It looks like Saltman might have made a pass up here on the hill on Velt. Tries to double out of that turn, but not able to make a pass quite yet. Velt riding well. Saltman playing the edge. Velt throwing a steezer. Might just have to say Velt's throwing the best whips of the year in the 450 class. And Saltman makes a pass up the inside, playing a little bit of defensive riding here. Velt trying to square up, and he does not want to let Saltman go, but Saltman, you just see him picking up time in the smallest ways. I mean, at this level, it's just braking on time, getting on the gas at the right time, keeping that back wheel on the ground. You just see Saltman digging, but Velt is wide open trying to save it. He wants to get this win. It's all or nothing at this point if you're trying to grab one late in the season. Xerox in third. He's in a good position. Doesn't really need to push it all too much. I mean, fourth and fifth are a reasonable distance back, but I mean, as long as he keeps it on 2 and just keeps marching forward, shouldn't be any issues. He might even find himself on the better end of a mistake from the lead 2 if they keep battling the way they are. But Otero's still in fourth, and Samuel fifth. David Mulatto. This would be 7-6. I'd probably put him in 6th, 5th, 6th overall range. Dilute Tiger, a better moto here at moto number 2 in 7th. Antonio Arenga in 8th. Brennan Bros 9th. Duncan 10th. And obviously you had Iowa and Young Macadelic who were running up in the mix early, and this one unfortunately lagged out. So still Saltman out front. And with that being said, guys, tonight in the 250 class, I want to say we're 2 positions short of a full lobby. We tend to see this later in the season. Interest always dies down if people aren't doing great in the series, so a little short-handed on 250 guys tonight. If you are a 450 guy or someone who didn't make the 450 main event and you want to race the 250 class, we'll be accepting that for 2 positions. Now we're not going to let any of the 450 contenders in there, just for the sake of, we don't want to spoil anyone's chances at bettering their position in the championship in the 250 class, but someone of comparable speed and experience, if they're interested in racing, then we will accept that. So just message us on our Instagram or shoot me a PlayStation DM if interested in that. Velt still holding on to second, and Xerox closing up a little bit, but he's really not getting to Velt as quick as I thought he would. A lot of these guys have improved so much over the course of the season, Velt being one of them. A lot of really good rides he's had this year. Shout out to that whole Ashley Racing team. Shire done a great job turning it around for them this year. I feel like they've got some guys that are really in the mix, Shire himself, so sure they'll be back and swinging in our next seasons we have, whenever that will be. Happy to have them out here. Samuel trying to get in a position where he can get around Jose here, working the fourth, and probably safeguard Xerox's title shot here a little bit. Oh, and Jose gets reset. Looks like he kind of got a little sideways off the face, but just up ahead you're seeing Xerox almost making a pass on Velt here. Can he work his way into second? We got 6 minutes, so this moto almost feels like it's dragging a little bit. I feel like we've been racing for 20. Xerox gonna slide up the inside here. Nice clean line there. Oh, has to move out of the way, but luckily does not get landed on. That would have been catastrophic. Really hard to run it in on someone on that downhill. Really hard spot to make a pass. I think you're just holding on for dear life, trying to hold on to traction, really. Easy to get on the gas too quick and slide out. And oh, Velt trying to push a little bit. Hey, what's up, Swerve? You're building that team up awesome over there, man. Can't wait to see what you guys do in the future. Really good battle here. Velt gets back around Xerox. If there is a future, I feel that, dude. Who knows what's going to happen? I haven't heard anything about new games. And I, for one, don't see myself playing Supercross 5. Just don't know if that's an option for me. I wasn't a huge fan of that game. I think a lot of people seem to be burnt out on it. GP21's still hot at the moment, but that always fades. Jose Otero would go 3-5 tonight. I think he would not get the podium overall in this position, but nonetheless would be a stellar ride for him. I think he would take home 4th. Ooh, nice cheeky line there. Able to kind of cut that corner and not get reset. That's solid. David Mulatto, however, getting reset. Vivid says, I'm gonna go on my annual grind on SX. Vivid been on Terra's late. It'd be cool to see him grinding some soupy. Duluth still hanging out back here in 7th. Again, better ride for him. Field is deep tonight. I know we have talked about potentially even going back if there's no new games and doing MXGP 20 and Supercross 3, just because Supercross 3 was personally one of our favorites collectively, JGR as a team. So we talked about just doing a fun little throwback series on that, or GP20, but we're up in the air. Anything could happen. 2 rounds of DMR left, and that's the end of SX5 for me. Yeah, man, I totally understand. Gotta fulfill the obligation, but then after that, the rest is history. Yeah, we think this throwback series would be sick too. It'd probably bring out a lot of people just to do something different. And plus, SX3 was a really good Supercross game. Even SX2. Shit, the original SX. Any of it would be fun. That's where it all started. Go back to the roots a little bit. I really didn't love Supercross 5, and I think a lot of people did like it, but I think that the feel of the game was not there for me. That might just be just me, I don't know. Not a whole lot happening here in Moto number 2. It's definitely a little bit more spaced out in the first moto. Everyone's kind of settled into their positions. Decent little battle, 2 through 4 here. Back to 5th, Jose Otero still working. Game definitely felt lazy. I don't know, we raced our Supercross series and I started the season racing 250s, and I just genuinely was not having fun playing. I would just rather race direct at that stage, so bikes bogged a little bit too much, physics felt a little off. Shoot, I would take SX4 before it. And Duluth lost the 7th place position, so falling back a little late in this moto. I like to call Duluth the Ken Roxon of this series. Dude has the speed to run with anyone, but seems to kind of lose it a little bit at the end of the motos. See if he can hang on to 8th here. Duncan Nick back in 9th. Race directing really is fun. I enjoy it. Racing's fun, but it also adds a level of stress. And just being able to watch the best guys on these games is so much fun. Getting to call the action a little bit. I look forward to it every week. Brennan Bros still back in 10th. Saltman in 1st, Velt 2nd. So this man Velt on a tear right now. I mean, I would honestly say most improved of the season in the 450 class for me might be Velt. Honestly, the biggest surprise too. It's almost like Austin Edwards level shock for me from Supercross. That guy just came out and I never even really heard of him before, and he just rode up with the big dogs, and Velt's proven to do that, especially towards the end of this season. P2, great ride for Velt, another great whip, nothing's new. Xeric's trying to make a pass though with 30 seconds plus 2 in this moto. Sammy YZB still there, waiting on a mistake or two, but certainly anything can happen. He wants to get the best overall possible. I want to say he would grab 3rd overall tonight. I think it would be a JGR 1, 2, 3. Because he would go, he would go 6-4. Iowa would go 2-12, so Iowa's out of it. Young Mac would be out of it going 5-11. So yeah, it might be the JGR boys. We'll just have to see at the end of the night. JGR 1, 2, 3, love to see it. Yeah, it's rigged. Everyone else in the race are paid actors. Paid actors, I tell you. Pre-recorded, the whole deal. It's alright, we gotta be good on one game. We definitely are not a Supercross team. We're decent at best on Soupy. At MXGP, boys are getting it done. Again, really impressed with these Spaniard boys tonight. They've been blowing up some hype on the Insta. I was like, damn, alright, these guys are ready to go. They came out firing. 6th and 7th, these guys again. If you went back and watched all the race footage tonight of these two going at it, grab the popcorn, sit down, enjoy the show. These guys have just been, it's just like watching Jet and Hunter. Not afraid to just run each other high, bump into each other, screw it. Look at this. This is great. Oh, these guys are bar to bar. Duluth back in 8th, opening up a little bit of room on Duncan now in 9th, and Brennan Bros back in 10th. Again, if you're just hopping in the stream late, did have Iowa Hawkeyes and Young Mac unfortunately lag out early in this one, so no doubt there would have been fireworks late in Moto 2 with all those boys going at it. Hope to see you guys out in the next season we have, but at the moment, Saltman, 1 lap to go. Final lap of the season here. JGR Pro MXGP League, again, it's been so much fun to race direct, run the series. We've really enjoyed it. Again, we will be taking a little bit of break after MX of Nations, but it's been a pleasure, guys. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully there's a future on other games and we can keep doing this, but we'll just have to see. Velt trying to hold on to 2nd. This would be a great ride for Velt here. Xerix has Samuel YZB in tow, so can Samuel make a last lap pass here? I wish I could remember what Velt got in Moto 1. I want to say it was like 7th. Yeah, I want to say 7th or 8th even. So he definitely puts him still outside of that contention for overall podium. And oh, Samuel YZB goes down. Looks like he lost traction in the rollers. And Jose Otero's going to go by. I didn't even realize he was that close. Swerved. Hell yeah, man. That would be sick. We're probably going to run it in a week or two. So it would be awesome to have as many people out as possible. We got a couple tracks built in the works. So there's going to be multiple tracks is what we're thinking with 3 different classes. Should have the details out in the next couple days. Yeah, Burnham, details will be out in the next couple days about MX Nations. That way you guys have a full heads up and you kind of know what to expect. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And did Saltman lag out? Did I miss Saltman lagging out? No. No way. I see, Sword, you're like an Axel Hodges type. Well, but X Games Steez. So, I really gotta figure out what the hell just happened here. Maybe my game's just bugging. I was tuned into the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Did Saltman just lag out? No way. No, Saltman lagged out. That is absolutely insane. That's terrible. You hate to see that. He just told me he was literally seconds before the finish, like hitting that double right before the finish. That sucks. Painful. That's the 2nd time it's happened to him this year. But guys, that concludes round 8. Again, I wish I could do podium interviews. Hopefully I get on a PS5. I'll have less dumb issues like that in the future. But can never get the interviews to come up on stream. So that'll conclude the coverage for tonight. Again, thank you so much, guys, for coming out all season. We've really enjoyed it. And we'll be around. We'll see you guys in the future. Take it easy.